Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to properly inform you on how to make candles. The first thing you will need to do is prep your area where you will be doing the candle, and then you will need to cover the surface where you'll be making the candle with brown paper bags or a newspaper. But a little FYI, the first candles were made by the ancient Egyptians. Okay, now that you gotten the area or your station set up, you would need to gather your materials that you would need to make the candle. You would need a wick. You would need a pot to melt the wax. You would need a container, fragrance, and the color that you want the candle, but that's optional. Okay, once you get that done, you will follow these instructions. The first thing you would do is melt the wax to fit the vessel that you chose. The next thing you would do, before you pour the wax, you will place the wick into the appropriate vessel that you chose. You will add your color and fragrance, it's optional, to the melted wax in the pot that you chose if desired. After melting the wax, you pour the hot wax into the container, and you will use popsicle sticks or whatever you choose to keep the wick in place, and you will let the wax cool completely and then trim the wick down to whatever size that you want it to be. And after you make the first candle, you can get creative and do more candles and be adventurous with it. And it's a lot of ways to be creative with candles and be more adventurous with it. And the more you do it, the more experienced you will be. And one of the things you can do is you can try different types of products. You can customize your own fragrance, or you could use essential oil to scent. You could use essential oil to scent the oil, and you could just use your imagination or your willingness to experiment. And that would depend on the variations of candles that you make. The more you do it, the more free-minded you will be to making candles and let your imagination work. And it's really not a lot. It's kind of simple. And that's it for making candles. And thank you so much for listening to my speech about making candles. I hope that through this speech you have a clear understanding of how to make candles. I appreciate you watching, and I thank you for learning. I thank you for listening and learning these things, and I hope that you learn many new things by our fellow classmates videos that we have to watch. Thanks.